Okay, I am getting started up again here. Okay. So, before I got disconnected, I switched over to the 0 after my game over. Still on the easy difficulty, and that easy difficulty might still be a bit much for me, apparently. But that's not going to stop me from trying. I seem to have a pretty good habit here of just flying right into enemy fire. And I've got to say the fantasy of this game is pretty fun. 'Cause it's like, you know, World War II, you've got the Axis, you've got the Allies, and they're like, oh crap, we've got bigger fish to fry. We need to unite all our military hardware against whatever. Against giant mechs. Flying battleship Khabarovsk. Ooh, this is one I did not get to as the Lightning. And one thing I really like about the Psikiyo games is that they do some really insane mechanical designs with these bosses, and that is not just confined to the Strikers games. That's in that's definitely in Gunbird and shit. And what's it? Tengai, Sengoku Ace as well. Okay, I lost it again. Okay, we're gonna try again. This time I'm gonna take the Mustang for a spin. Ooh, I like the Mustang's bomb. Yeah, in real life I think the Mustang is cool enough, but I think it's a little overexposed as fighters get, probably in no small thanks to the fact that it shares a name with a very popular car that took some inspiration from it. But I definitely think the Lightning is cooler as far as the European theater as well as the P40. And as far as the Pacific theater goes, you've got all kinds of cool things. You've got the Corsair, you've got the Hellcat. And that's just in the fighter category, I mean. Obviously, the P40 Warhawk got a lot of play in China and in the early phases, I believe, of both sides of it. In both European and Pacific theaters. But I think it was soon kind of eclipsed by some of the fighters developed during the war. I believe even the P39 got quite a bit of play and isn't exactly isn't talked about a lot, even though I think in particular the British and Russians made good use of the P39. But at a glance, the P39 kind of looks like just a less attractive Mustang. Because one thing I'll say about the Mustang, it is an aesthetically pleasing plane. Like, the proportions on it are just really nice, and it looks like it would be a pleasant plane to fly. I believe in the European theater, the P47 is also I think the P47 is the Thunderbolt. I'm not as well versed in this as I used to be, but I think that's correct. I believe it made a name for itself as both a fighter and a ground attack aircraft, and also had a pretty decent survivability because it was a heavy, huge fighter, considering the class of aircraft it was, which of course is a fighter or patrol. If I remember right, the Thunderbolt name also came to the A-10, which I believe transferred over because of its ground attack capabilities that P-47 was kind of in that same class of being a very survivable, very able ground attacker. God damn it. Target 5, Rocket Base Samson. If I remember right, this is the one where you have to stop the rocket taking off. Oh, the mecha didn't split off that time. That's interesting. Oh, scramble? That's an unconventional way for a Mustang to take off. Oh, I think this is where we have to stop the rocket launch. Oh, game over right there. Oh, that's sad. Okay, we're gonna switch planes again. Yahtzee. Let's try the BF-109. Never been my favorite, even from its country. I'm much more partial to the FW-190. And part of that comes from playing, I want to say it was a Microprose game, or Infogrames, one or the other, European Air War for the PC when I was a kid. I thought the FW-190 was a much better performer than the BF-109. And if you can get it running on a modern system, it's still a terrific World War II flight sim. Although Microsoft Combat Flight Simulator was probably more popular, I think European Air War was the better game. But yeah, the BF-109 was pretty widespread, but I think the Germans had some much cooler aircraft. The Me-262, obviously, and the, again, the FW-190. And, And indeed, the Stuka is like the most just seemingly evil aircraft of all time, thanks to that Jericho trumpet. Certainly everyone that heard it hated it. But just in case anyone's confused, I don't think the real BF-109 had homing lasers. If they did, and we don't know about it, you know, our grandparents' generation has, I guess, just left a few things out of the official reports. Well, my grandparents' generation. I realize that I'm, you know, a millennial, Gen Y, and some of my audience might be younger than that or older than that. Probably younger than that, because I mean, if you're Gen Z, then your great grandparents were probably greatest generation. Heck, maybe even some millennials, but in my case, my grandparents on both sides were in World War II. My granddad was in the, what they collectively call the Mediterranean theater, North Africa, Italy, and my grandpa on my mom's side was in the Pacific theater. I want to say he was somewhere in the rear line, but I think he was also at the Aleutians. The Battle of the Aleutian Islands is kind of an interesting thing in itself, if you ever get a chance to read up on it. Yeah, a lot of the media about World War II tends to focus on a very limited theater of operations. I mean, if you paid attention just to the movies made in the past, like 20, 30 years, you would think that World War II started in 1944. I mean, and the U.S. alone was involved in World War II from 1942 and onward, but it had been raging in Europe since 1939, and one could argue, and this is the hypothesis I accept, that World War II began in the 30s with the Sino-Japanese War. Since it kind of bled over into... Okay, let's go to the Spitfire. one of the very famous craft of the Battle of Britain. Although not the only craft that served with distinction in that battle. The Hurricane also made a very good showing. And one of the cool things about the Hurricane was, I believe it had a fabric over, I don't remember if it was wood or metal frame, but apparently German cannon shells would, instead of exploding in it, pass right through, which is one of the things that allowed so many of the Hurricanes to get back safe when, if it hit a metal-skinned aircraft, it would have exploded on impact, and the plane may have not made it back. Holy shit! That's why they call it the Spitfire. But yeah, that's not to take anything away from the Spitfire. It is definitely a cool aircraft, and one that definitely served its role very well. Definitely as much as I would say it's like I don't know enough about British naval power to say what their I guess flagship would be, but I would say the Spitfire is as synonymous with Commonwealth forces as the Lee Enfield was. I do feel like after you play a shmup for a while, you do kind of feel like you get in the zone and you get better at it. Or I guess that's what the kids call getting locked in. Is that used correctly? Locked in? I don't know. And I guess if I don't beat the game, I will quit when I have exhausted every fighter and gotten a game over. I think that seems fair. Spitfire is doing pretty good so far. This one starts you over from the beginning when you fail. Oh, that sucks. And I'm seeing that internet connection is not sufficient, so I may lose this stream soon. We'll find out. That's the shitty part about having your router on the other side of the house. Which isn't going to be the case for too long, but, you know. And the internet has just been crappy today anyway. Give me 1 second. Okay, one more, well, my scores keep getting better. So I think I've got one more shot. It's going to be the J7W Shinden. Which is a super cool fighter that I don't think was ever actually fielded. But it does appear in Godzilla -1, so that's pretty cool. Directional fire on it, but not much spread. And that extends to its bomb as well. On the nice side, it does not clutter the screen too much. I've got all of this week off, primarily because I'm getting ready to move, but I may be able to do a little bit of streaming, maybe an hour or so each night this week, so I'll try to get a little bit in. Ooh, perfect timing. Oh, those are twin Mustangs. I didn't even realize until now. Shinden is definitely one that I think is one of the more... It's powerful, but it's also very difficult to master, I think. At least that's my take on it. And primarily it's because it has such low spread. I feel like I have blown through a lot of lives already. And I bought the farm. But you know, I think I am gonna try again with the lightning this time. I feel like my takeaway is that the Lightning, the Spitfire, the Zero, and the BF-109 to various extents are kind of pretty middle of the road. I kind of like how the Lightning has the little option satellites, like in Gradius. You know, I've gotten used to saying Gradius, but is it Gradius or Gradius? Ah, shit. Sorry, give me one moment. See what happened is I got distracted by something and started screwing up. So give me one moment to try to correct. Okay. Oh, I could have dodged that. But I made stupid errors. Just like I did there. Sometimes it's a good idea to use your bomb as a get out of the shit free card. And yeah, as soon as I hit a full game over, I am gonna switch to a different game in the collection for a few minutes. Not that I'm trying to lose or anything, I just want to be very clear on that. Oh. Yeah, I definitely bought it early there. Okay, so I am going to switch over to... Let's see. Okay, this is one I'm not really familiar with. This is Dragon Blaze. So yeah, it looks like it's a fantasy-themed one. I'm gonna stick it on easy. We've got Quaid with the Fire Dragon, Sonya, Rob. Okay, this guy reminds me of Gilius from Golden Axe, so I'm gonna go with him. I think I played this one just a little bit, but not extensively. Okay, so this is Golden Axe as a shmup. I like it. projectiles are not... Ah, shit. I was about to say they're not moving too fast, so I'm having an easier time dodging them, and then I get the shit kicked out of me. Yeah, I hit a game over pretty fast there, so this one is it's a little intense. Even here, my brothers are... I'm God of Sun. Collect for... Oh, it's going too fast for me to read. I wanted to do goofy voices with it. This one does not fuck around. So if you hold the triangle button when your meter is charged, you launch a really friggin' powerful attack. Holy shit! Okay, so I did really bad there. I guess I will, I'm gonna momentarily switch over to Strikers 1945 too. I just feel like I can keep going. I've got the Lightning, the Flying Pancake, the TA-152, the Hayate, Shinden, and Mosquito. Let's go with the Focke-Wulf. Definitely like this music. That's like peak Saturn era. Oh shit, he just launches an entire V2 missile. I had to leave behind the power up. That was rude. Yeah, this is not really my favorite plane in all the shmup planes I've ever used. I mean, it's kind of an okay plane, but the bomb is very situational, let's say. It's very much not a get me the hell out of a bad situation kind of bomb. Yeah, I did pretty terrible there. Alright, one more round. I am going to... Let's try the Hayate. Okay, it's got a good spread gun. I like that. Okay, so far I am liking the Hayate a lot better than the Focke-Wulf. Oh, I definitely like that. You got kind of Puff the Magic Dragon coming in. Ah! I don't want to lose that. Target, Iron Casket. It's pretty hardcore. As with just about any game involving shooting, the less guns you can get firing at you, the better. Target Goliath? Probably means Goliath, but it says Goliath. You know, like the Bible story of David and Goliath. It's always amusing finding the kind of typos or errors in games developed overseas, but I don't exactly, you know, blame anyone for that, because they're doing a better job with it than I do with Japanese. So. Definitely never be stingy with your bombs. Because once you die, you don't get to use them again. And there it goes. I think I am going to call it a night. Thank you if you joined me, and have a good night.